What up, guys? Jason Guyman here with PressureWashHelp.com, King of Pressure Washing. And tonight I have on Mr. Jason. Now, it was supposed to be somebody else, and I got to shut that up real quick. And so it was supposed to be somebody else, and he got ill and sick. And so Jason, we've been talking about bringing Jason on here for a while, and because he's hit some big milestones. So last month he did 10,000. Last month is in September, he did 10,000, and in November he did, actually I got my days wrong. October he did $10,000 a month, and then in November he's done over 15,000. He's done a little well over 15,000. I think he was like 17, 18,000. Some of that 3,000 that was painting. So he did literally 15,000 just in pressure washing alone. So before I get started on here, let me go down the road of I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. We did do the drawing. We will get that. I will do a video later on of who won. There was some of the gift cards. They were the winners did get emailed out, so make sure you respond back so we can get your address, so that way you can get. And no, Jason did not win in that. So, but one of the guys that a lot have been on here did win. So, I didn't pick it. My wife picked it, and so she is the one that did that. And so if you don't like it, then that is what it is. So, I think I'm gonna have to block somebody already. Looks like. We'll see if they keep going. So, Jason, tell me a little bit. First off, let's go back. I'm going to go back to the first story. No, I'm going to let you go ahead and then I'll bring that. Tell me a little bit about who you are, your family, and all of that kind of stuff.
Well, my name is Jason. My wife Christina, who is really the main driver for our success here, who doesn't want to be on camera right now. We live in Florida. We operate in Florida, and we originally started a paint company thinking we can be successful with painting, and we'll get a pressure washer because, well, we have to pressure wash the house to do the job, and maybe we could get pick up $25 pressure washing a driveway here and there, and so we put pressure washing on the name. And I was looking for painting stuff and on YouTube, and I saw a little bit of how to pressure wash a house, and then somehow some guy said you can make $300 an hour pressure washing. I can't find him anymore. So I started watching him a little bit, and then I realized there was a training program, and I got to the point where I just wasn't being successful in painting, and so that's it. We got to do something. So we signed up.
So you got a wife, right? And you got kids or anything?
We've got one young man, 11 years old. He's in bed, but I know he's listening right now.
And so, with that said, you and your wife both work this business, correct? It's not just you do it all. You both work as a couple, and your son probably helps out some too, doesn't he?
Absolutely. Our son is the receiving manager. When product and Amazon orders come in, he checks it. He verifies it's what it's supposed to be. Does he put it where he's supposed to? Of course he does. My wife handles all the back end stuff, all the marketing, all the follow-up emails. She designs our bid form. She designs our everything. She is the business. I'm just the worker bee, really.
So I did do some work this weekend. I went and I seen Mr. Al's on here, and I did do some work this weekend, and I got to spray some bleach. I had one of these red sweatshirts on, and by the time, when I play with this stuff, I don't just, I make sure I get it all over me. And by the time I was done, I should have brought the sweatshirt in. It was a pretty good white sweatshirt at the end of it from the bleach eating it up, because these here are the cheaper ones. You can see Jason's got the better sweatshirt on there. And that one is actually a polyester one. So with that said, I do work sometimes. I had to show Al a little bit to get him moving a little bit, and I know he was probably had to go drink a case of beer when he got home because I had his nerves all up and away. But that's all right. I love helping people, and I love making sure people make money, and that is definitely something that I love to do. So let's go down the road here. I'm all over the road because that person. So what made you start a pressure washing business in the beginning?
Um, the not being successful with painting and painting jobs taking so long for so little money, and seeing that it's possible to make more money doing something with the equipment that I had or thought I had. And just once we signed up and saw that other people were doing it, once I see that someone else is doing it, then I think, if I could do half that, I'd be all right. I'd be happy with that.
Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about something else here because what else do you do besides just pressure washing and painting?
I am a firefighter paramedic for Sarasota County, and my wife is a teacher in Manatee County for a private school.
So when I'm talking about doing $15,000, this isn't even a full-time gig at the end of the day, is it?
Technically, no. I spend every third day at the fire department, and my wife, she is working Monday through Friday at school, and of course she's doing homework with Andrew after school. So
and you don't work weekends either, do you?
No, we do not go on job sites on weekends. We'll answer the phone, we'll give a bid, or we'll schedule, but no, we do not go out and work on weekends.
So to do a $15,000 month in basically 3 days, because only third week you get 4 days, is pretty daggone good at the end of the day. And this is the person. So when we first started, when I had my Voxer program, Jason is still signed up, talks to me every day, and I help him, and we kick back and forth ideas. And this was the guy that kept telling. What was those words that you kept telling me?
You don't understand. You cannot charge that in Florida. People will not pay. People aren't going to pay that in Florida. They want to pay $99, and that is it. And that's $99. It's on the sign. It's on their truck. That's what I said, day in and day out.
And what did Jason keep telling you day in and day out?
Don't worry about them.
Don't worry about your competition, right? Mm-hmm. And what happens when we don't worry about our competition?
We can stay focused on our business. We can charge our prices and be confident in our business, and we can make money.
And what else happens when we be able to do that too, of answering the phone and stuff?
I don't know. My wife answers the phone a lot, so.
But we can close higher jobs and all that kind of stuff, correct?
Absolutely.
And that's kind of what I wanted to get down into, because a lot of times people don't understand of how important. And so one of your goals this year was something to do with reviews. And what was that goal to do with reviews?
It was actually for this year to get up to 50.
And this is a good thing to set reviews. And how many reviews do you have right now? 63.
For the public view, it's 63. There's 2 more in processing.
Yeah, I looked at it before I got on here. So 63 reviews.
I can see the other 2. You can't on my Google My Business page.
Gotcha. So 63 reviews. Your goal was 50. It's always important to set goals, because when we set goals, what happens when we set goals?
It gives you a target, gives you something to visually, mentally go after. Gives you almost like a finish line. Something to go after.
Yep, exactly. And so, what is one thing that has probably helped you the most to be able to get to a $10,000 month?
Besides my wife, with all the help she does behind the scenes, the Voxer program was a big help for me. Getting through that mental mindset right, and believe it or not, the PressureWashHelp.com community, I reach out to 3 or 4 other guys through that platform, and we kick back ideas. We show what hasn't worked, what has worked, what chems to use, what jobs to just turn away and run from. So it was a big part to my success. I don't do anything that isn't in that program and isn't in the process. Everything I do, the secret sauce is in there. I just do that.
And he's talking about you can go to pressurewashhelp.com/free. You can go to Black Friday. I've got a really good deal going on there. Pressurewashhelp.com/Black Friday. And basically, I give the blueprint of what you need to do. And then we do 2 Zoom calls a month. So that way you can, ask questions. And that's a good place that a lot of guys bounce stuff off each other. Hey, what if I do this? I do this. And that's a good thing. We got Kyle been kind of doing stuff of asking questions, and then a lot of other guys kind of asking questions and just kind of bouncing off things. Because in this group that we've got, I don't allow a lot of the nonsense to get in there. So, I've been in some other groups. We was actually some of the guys you was talking about, Kyle, went into another group and got hammered, and it's like, don't go in, there's a reason why I say don't go into those groups. 2 reasons. One, their time suck. You're sucking a lot of time that does you no good. And 2, it doesn't build your business, And why do I want to go to a place that somebody just learned yesterday what to do, and he's trying to tell everybody else what to do there, and he's never even done anything with the pressure washing business? So, them are some things of why I say to do that. And even, even Jason, what are some things? I mean, are you in all those Facebook groups?
Absolutely not. I don't even have pressure washers friended on my business page. There are plenty of ways for people to tell you, no, you can't do it. It's not possible. You can't charge that much. You don't even need to go there. You can get that every other day. So why commit more to that? So no, I am not in those groups. I go to the pressure wash equipment for sale group, and I watch those guys who say all that crap go under and sell their rigs, and I'm thinking about buying some of it cheap.
Right.
Don't go into those groups. Nothing good can come from that.
I agree 100%. So, what was your goal for 2020?
It was to almost make my wife's salary, and cancel out some really, really hard debt. It was really hard to live with that debt, and we have well surpassed that.
So, by doing that, have you been able to get financial freedom from this?
Absolutely. We just the other day, we walked into a truck dealership, and we saw it, and we were like, you know what? We can afford these payments. We could buy this truck right now. Did we? No, because we know we're smarter about it now. It's like we made this money. We worked hard for it. We want this money to go work hard for us. We don't want to blow it on some shiny thing. But now we're looking at bigger things, like how do we invest this to work for us, but we don't have to get up and work for it every day. So it's working while we're sleeping. And a lot of our bad debt is gone. We sleep a lot better. And now it's opened up the option of next year, Christina being at home, and not going to work and handling the phones all the time.
Right.
So it's given us a lot more options and a lot more. We've got more lights on our Christmas tree in our house this year than we could ever thought we could the year before.
Financial freedom is an amazing thing at the end of the day, And as Greg Townsend just put, no shiny thing syndrome, and that is exactly right, because at the end of the day, it doesn't no good. It really doesn't, and it's hard. It's a hard thing for me to deal with. I mean, and a lot of times, even when we're talking about marketing, even all the way down to marketing, we get into that. Oh, this person says do that, and oh, this person says do that, and we never get good at anything. And when we don't get good at anything, what happens?
You spin your wheels.
We fail at the end of the day, and that is definitely something that we don't want to do. So with that said, what is your goal for 2021 looking forward?
2021, we want to do $150,000 in profit.
And that's not, you want to do 150,000 profit, not net profit.
Mm-hmm.
So, even this $15,000 that I put as a thing. Yes, he made 15,000, but how much did you profit of that?
I think we profited about 11, just over 11,000.
A little over $11,000 profit. So, when we're doing $15,000 and we profit 15 or 11, that's pretty good at the end of the day. Would you not agree with me on that?
Yeah, I'm not sad about that. I'm
And
not
so
sad.
your goal is to do 150,000 profits, or so profit. What is your goal for? Do you have any other goals other than, I know you want Christina, but what about like review goals or stuff like that?
I want to try to be over 150, and I think I'm shooting low on that because I know season's going to come, and our process has been pretty effective when we're real busy. But 150 is my goal for that. I want to have one good, at least part-time helper. We are actually wanting to pivot our business and drop painting completely. And then instead of doing painting, we want to push into paver sealing and paver cleaning. And then we want to open up into Christmas lights. And the only other thing we want to do as a goal for our business, for our marketing, is we want to do better with our video marketing. Christina is very talented, and I think we're going to do some stuff in-house to find that secret Novocaine sauce of good video marketing so we can just keep reapplying it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So what has been the best way to get customers? I remember we talked a lot because I always push signs. And when you first started doing signs, what happened to your sign? What phone calls did you get because you were putting signs up?
Oh, God. Besides code enforcement, things that wasted my time more than people waste on Facebook. In fact, it's a big failure. I've got a visual display here. We'll go through the process. Okay. This is it. How many calls? 0.
And did you not listen to what I had said before you did that?
It gets better. It gets better. Got all sorts of information on here. A little teeny tiny phone number. Oh, licensed and insured. 0 calls. Got worse with this one. Painting and pressure washing. What do people call for? Painting. Not one phone call for pressure washing. Now, some guys, they do well with this. Here in my market, it just didn't work for me, so we got better. We didn't get any painting calls. Still not a lot of calls here. But then we started listening and doing it, following the process. We came to this. This is mind-boggling as it is. That helps drive the phone. That helps make it ring.
So simple is what it comes down to then, right?
It's frustratingly simple.
Because at the end of the day, we don't need all that other stuff, do we?
No, they just want to know what you do and your phone number because they're making a decision like that. Do I need that? Yes. Better. And they take a picture and they'll call you 2 days later.
Yep.
That's what they do.
Yep, they do. And so when you did that, that kind of got your phone ringing. And how did you? I know what I was going to tell you. So when you got called by code enforcement, didn't you get a job off of that by doing something like that or something?
Almost. He is on the books, but the code enforcement guy, I didn't argue with him. I was just real apologetic. I explained to him I'm a small business, just trying to get going, and he said, well, here, go to this address and give me a price on it. And it was a car wash. So we're going to be washing that car wash. But yeah, they told me I couldn't put signs where I was putting them. It happened to me. So I knew signs worked. So I had to find a different way to do it. And I had to learn the rules. Once I learned the rules, moving that sign a couple feet over, nobody can touch me. Nobody can touch me. So, and everybody still sees it. So I just learn the rules and play by the rules.
That's exactly what you got to do sometimes. Sometimes you got to bend them a little bit, but as long as you keep them in the rule book, you're good. So
I think the main reason he called me and gave me a nasty call is because I overdid it on my Guyman pole, and it was up there. And he had to get it down. He says, I want to meet you to find out how tall you are. And I'm like, ooh, he's upset. So I just don't do that where I found out where his area was. And I don't put him in his area. I just put him everywhere else.
And so that's a good point of, putting up signs and stuff, and some other things that I know you push to get your phone ring. But what has probably been one of the best things to get your phone to ring?
Um, yeah, right now it's Google Ads. And we do a lot of Facebook as well. We do a lot of posting. We do a little bit of sponsored ads. Those three main things: signs, Google AdWords, and Facebook. They're all pretty even. Sometimes during the day we'll get more of a certain one and less of another. And certain days we'll get more calls from signs and less from Google AdWords. But
Now, is it all Google AdWords, or is it Google Maps with your listing and stuff?
it is Google Maps, yeah.
Google My Business.
We lump Google AdWords and Google Maps all in one bucket because I keep things simple.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to track differently. I mean, you can, but it gets difficult to do it. So, Google My Business, where you got 160 or you got 63 reviews and you got over 100 photos and all of that kind of stuff, is definitely something that has helped you grow a lot, because I know that helps your Google My Business. And you struggled there for a little while. I know one of your goals was to get 100 photos, and then Google would put them up and take them down and all kinds of
Yeah.
stupid stuff for a while.
Yeah. But we also now we label them differently. We stay about 7 reviews behind of replying to them, and we reply to them for the service that we did. And we also post. We post about 2-3 times a week if we can, at least once a week. We post about our services and things like that on our Google My Business.
Gotcha. So, tell me one thing you failed in business and the 3 things you learned from it.
Signs. Oh, we had some huge failures in signs. Another thing I did wrong was, what did I do? Oh, yeah. I didn't burn this lady's plants, because when you burn a plant, you can tell what it is for the most part when you're done. I incinerated this lady's plants. I had no idea what it was. I had to go ask her, like, ma'am, what is this plant? I'm sorry. Just tell me what it is. I'll replace it. And I replaced it. I owned up to it, so she was not thrilled, but she respected the fact that I didn't hand it off or push it off or say it wasn't me. And so I went and bought probably $100 worth of plants.
So S3 asks, do you have different phone numbers for each ad method, or do you just ask how they heard about you?
Yeah, we just asked, how'd you hear about us?
So when they say Google, you're kind of lumping that with Google Ads and Google My Business and all of that kind of stuff.
We take a lot of notes from PressureWashHelp.com, so we know how to track who can see us on maps and who can see us through our ads. So if they say, oh, okay, what's your address? It's like, well, there's no way you see me number 1 and you're 50 miles away. There's 100 pressure washers in my area. So it stands to reason you didn't find me on maps. You didn't search down number 60 closest to you. You probably saw me in an ad. And that's okay. My phone rang. I'll take it,
So Superior, if you want your Christmas list to have a Zoom call on Christmas Day, if you go sign up at pressurewashhelp.com/Black Friday, I might wish that just for you. But that's what you got to do.
Christmas Day?
Yeah, you got to remember I got 2 kids, and we go to grandparents. But I'll do that for you. It might be nighttime, but I would do that for you.
Ugh.
So what? So you had a couple failures and all that kind of stuff. But what about fears? A lot of times people have fears of, I can't do that. I can't. Nobody would pay that. I would never pay that. All these different things. So What are some things that what are some things that was some tough fears that you had to overcome?
The first one was putting out signs during the day.
What I know somebody else had a hard time doing that. What was they're like, I can't be seen out there.
I just got to the point where it's like you got to make a choice. Whoever is going to look at you, they're not going to decide to mail you a check for your financial success for the rest of your life. So now I'll stop in the middle of the day, put my hazards on, jump out, stick a sign in, jump back in, and drive away. People will honk at me. That's okay. But now they know my number and what I do. And those people who look down upon signs, they're not paying for my son's, future. They're not paying my mortgage. So you know what? Whatever. They may pay me to pressure wash their house, and I'll do a good job, and they'll leave me a 5-star review, hopefully. But they're not in charge of my financial success. So why worry about it?
So that was probably, how long did it take for you to overcome that fear?
2 months.
So that's a tough fear, and you're not the only person I know that has that fear. I knew DJ has that fear. You'd have to go put him out at midnight. The time he put his signs out, and that's the only time he'd put them out. Now you still kind of go out early, don't you?
Yeah, when I'm going into the fire department, I will get out there at like 4 a.m. sometimes. I've actually posted some videos in the group where it is dark, and I'm just on my way to the firehouse, or I couldn't get them out, and I've got stuff on the weekend planned, so I'm out there early, and I'm hitting my target areas, getting my signs out.
MTH I only put my signs up during the day. In traffic, the commanding attention is an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, gotta be careful. Gotta be careful.
But so with that, what signs? I love signs. So what is something that if you was to start over, what is something that you would tell a new person what they need to do to be successful?
Do not worry about your competition. They're not going to mail you a check no matter what you do. So don't worry about it. And saying that, I struggle with it every day. And don't worry about your haters. I think I've voxed you about it. I love my haters because they get me up before my alarm clock to get out there and put out signs, to get out there and hustle it and do my follow-ups and pick up my phones within 3 rings and say my script just right, which Christina still does better than me. Don't worry about your haters. Don't worry about your competition. They're not going to mail you a check. Worry about your customers. Worry about doing a good job. And if you don't have the right equipment, I think what I asked for this year for Christmas from Christina is a framed photo of the dream that we had of one day owning a pressure washer trailer. The blue tape, we measured it out of a 5x8 trailer. It's still on my garage floor with the chalk of the pump will go here, the SH will go here, the water will go here. I started with a 2.7 gallon a minute pressure washer and pump up sprayers. It broke. I had to go borrow my neighbor Dan, who's been really helping me grow my business by helping me with the mechanical side of things. He kind of is very compassionate, understands I don't know how to turn a wrench very well, so he helps me out a lot. I had to borrow his to finish a job, and you can grow your business with what you got.
So talking about that, you say you're not very mechanically inclined. How have obviously your neighbor, but what do you do like if you're on a job and stuff? How have you overcome those challenges?
Well, thankfully wireless. Sometimes I reach out to people or I'll YouTube it real quick, and I try to make sure that when I go to a job, I look at it like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got the right equipment to do this, to keep myself out of trouble. But sometimes, I think on the main picture of this YouTube, that house, my pump blew up. And so I had to tell the customer, I drew the short straw today. I will be back tomorrow. I had to go and get another pressure washer to show up the next day to finish it.
They went food bar on that one, didn't it?
The bottom of the pump blew out. Thankfully, it's under warranty. The people I bought it from, they replaced it. It's sitting in my garage right now. I'm afraid to sell it because I might put someone else in business. Because
Truth Seeker wants to know if you live next to Dan's vlog.
Dan who?
Dan's vlogs. He's on YouTube.
I don't know.
He's in Florida somewhere. He's a garbage man, and he does pressure washing videos and mowing videos. So you may not know him.
No. Florida's a sizable place. There's a lot of.
So with that said, didn't you get you an 8-gallon a minute pump because you blew something up, or was that a different one?
Yep. That day when I blew my pump up, I was so frustrated. I just went and said, I need to buy something that's going to last. I could probably do all the work I'm doing right now with a 5-gallon a minute. I have an 8-gallon a minute because I was frustrated. I wasn't thinking right. It's a great pump. It does great work. It's probably making me move faster, but I could still do it. I'm pretty sure I could still do the same work with a 5-gallon a minute.
Right. So let's go back a little bit, because I'm talking about mindset, and we're talking about a little bit about getting up early. You do that quite often, right? And I actually read something about how successful entrepreneurs, if you look at a lot of the successful entrepreneurs, they get up early, they start their day early, they get in, because if you start your day at 6 o'clock and by noon you done got 6 hours in, where if you don't get up and get moving till 8, 9, 10, you only got 1 or 2 hours in. And so you see a lot of successful, it's actually proven that a lot of your bigger successful entrepreneurs, they get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. The guy I had on here last week gets up at 4, has his routine, out the door by 5, at the shop by 6, and reading books, whatever, podcast, all that kind of stuff. And that's how they work, and that's how they are able to be successful. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that, because I don't get up that early because I don't have to anymore, and I don't have the gumption to get up early. My wife's a late night person, and so it's like if I want to stay up with her, that's the time I spend. Also, she's kind of grumpy in the morning, and so we kind of wake up together, and so that's kind of how we do it, and that works for us. I also work a lot of late nights. I do these Sunday night lives. I do Thursday night lives. I do different things during the week that I do so that I stay up late, because I know that you guys are usually, this is when you guys are just kind of chilling. And so that's kind of why I've done my time here, because if I did it during the day, a lot of you work and then you can't listen and join in and stuff like that. So that's why I do my lives at night, so that way you can join it in there. So that said, what is one thing do you think that helps you out by getting up and getting moving and all of that thing at the beginning of the day?
Absolutely. When I was a kid, hopefully my dad's watching. He said, "You're early, you're on time. You're on time, you're late. You're late, you're left behind." And I can outwork anybody. And if I find someone I can outwork, I want a head start. I want to get out there earlier than them, so at least I can be right there with them. But that's how every day. I think you're early, you're on time. You're on time, you're late. And I will actually text my customers, because I'm running early, all caps. "Hi, Mrs. Customer, I am running," all caps, "early. Can I meet you in 30 minutes?" To let them know I am not on time, I'm early. And it just sets the tone that we're legit. We're a real company. We're going to take care of them. And it helps the whole process of closing the sale, getting that 5-star review, and hopefully getting more work out of them.
Well, and that goes back to the old Pumpkin Plan book. Have you read the Pumpkin Plan yet? Yep, right there it is. So that goes back.
No, Cena reads this one.
that goes back to the pumpkin plan book of talking about, over delivering and, under promising and over delivering. And even just telling them that you're going to be here at this time and you show up 15 minutes early, you are over delivering at the end of the day. And that's the most important thing you can do right there.
Yep. And same with certain things where I'm not sure about it. I like mud daubers. It's a big deal in Florida. I tell them sometimes we can get them. Most time we can make them look better, which is true. We can always make it look better, but it's about 50-50 where you can get them off completely, whether they're never there or not. So I kind of set that bar low, so hopefully they're very happy with the result. Yeah, my wife is actually finishing up the pumpkin plan right now. I'm reading Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone, and that's another thing that we do is we're trading off what books we're reading so she can handle this part of the business and I can handle this part of the business instead of one person doing it all. So that's one thing that helps us be successful.
Gotcha. So what was your goal to do for, was your goal originally in the beginning of the, oh, no, I'm going to scratch that. I went down one road, but let's talk about, you had talked about something earlier and I want to talk about it, about your goals, setting your goals, and people believing that you can actually do this. Do you have everybody in your corner saying, go Jason, you can do this. There's all this money in Florida and you can do it and you're not going to have any problems at all?
No, absolutely not. When I'm at my other job, I don't even talk about the numbers that I do. I don't even talk about the work I do. And I'm not in the pressure washer groups.
What happens when you do talk about numbers at the firehouse? Do they believe you?
No. Nobody believes in me. If my neighbor's watching right now, I'm pretty sure he didn't believe me. And this will probably tell him that I was right. And I got to go put more Christmas lights on his house now because I put Christmas lights on his house for free. Pretty sure after this video, he's going to say, hey, I need some more lights, which is okay because he has definitely helped me get to where I am. But no, nobody is going to nobody really believes that we are doing this, and including us. The first time, several times I wanted 10K a month, a 10K a month, a 10K a month. It was more of an affirmation, trying to make myself believe I could do it. And then when I did it, I'm like, no way. And we're still in disbelief a little bit that we are making this much and the amount of time that we're making it in.
So, and when you don't have people, basically you don't have cheerleaders. Obviously, your wife is probably a pretty good cheerleader for you, and so you're basically, I'm a cheerleader for you because I know you can do it, and that's why I talk about it a lot. And that's why I've been showing it a bunch here, and so I never doubted Jason. I don't need more Christmas lights. But that's Daniel LaForce. So,
that's him. That's my neighbor.
he put, I never doubted Jason. I don't need more Christmas lights.
Yeah, I told him, look, I'm gonna stop painting and we're gonna spray their water on their house, and this is how much we're gonna do. We've definitely beat how much we're gonna do when I made that bet with him.
And that's the beautiful thing about it. A lot of times we have our own struggles. We talk about this in the beginning of our own mindsets of saying we couldn't do that, or I never believe that. I'm not capable of doing it. I'm not. I don't know enough. I don't. We are our own battle at the end of the day. We are the own battle, and that's one thing with the Voxer program. I am very positive. You will hardly ever hear me say never. You will hear me never say can't, because can't is not a word that needs to be said, because everything can be done. There's nothing that you can't do. Now, is it going to be hard? Yes. Is it going to be really hard? Maybe. It might be really, really hard, but it can be done. I remember you was working on your website. You're like, I've never built a website. She's never built a website. Did you get a website done?
we did, and we get some work off of it.
And so you can't be that I can't do this, because when you say that, you're telling yourself that you will believe that, and guess what happens when you believe that? Well, I'm a failure, I can't do this. That $99, everybody down here in Florida, $99. I bet if I heard that once on this boxer from this guy right here, I heard it 25 times. Worrying about, and what did I always say? Don't worry about your competition, because he picked up a job this week that's almost a lot of money. And how did you get that job?
Um, we got it off of Google Ads, but at the end of the day, nobody was calling this guy back. Nobody was getting back to him. Nobody was doing the basics. We just stick to the basics, and that was really what got this guy to say, "All right, you're going to do it for us."
And
Because we
so,
called.
and with that, what is your highest paying pressure washing job this year for you?
So far it's $1,750.
Now, would you have ever thought, and how long did that take you?
Took me about 5 hours because I stopped to do a live, and then I stopped to do some other things on Facebook. But if I would have worked it straight through, and probably could have gotten in 3 hours.
Now, a year ago, would you have thought anybody out there would have paid you $1,700?
No, absolutely not. No way.
What has made you believe that you can make $1,700 now?
Just trusting the process, just following the steps, and just sticking to my price, and slowly but surely raising the price, and doing good work, and realizing that the people that are calling me, they want someone good to take care of them, to take care of their house or take care of their property. And the people who don't want to pay, don't worry about it. But yeah, just sticking to the process. That's what's really, and getting the results from the process has helped me get to believe it now.
And that's one thing. Like I say, I try to be a cheerleader to everybody. There's some people out there that if you don't put the work in, I can't make you do that. I can't get you up in the morning and telling you, because if you're laying on your couch, you're laying there. That's not going to make your phone ring at the end of the day. I mean, Jason goes out at 4 o'clock in the morning before he goes to the firehouse to put up signs. He's doing things all the time to try to keep that phone ringing. He's working his LinkedIn. He's working all these different avenues. He's not just doing one thing and hoping that the phone is just going to ring. Can you find one thing that might do that? Maybe. If you get some good SEO and you pay a lot of money in AdWords, you might not have to do so much of the other stuff. But there's still one thing you have to do is answer the phone. And so let's talk about that a little bit. Who can? What happens when you answer the phone?
When I answer the phone, we have a script that works for us. And the first thing we do is, how can we help you? We introduce ourselves, who our company is, how can we help you? We talk about it and talk about their project. Then we start slowly pulling that information from them. But basically, when we answer our phone, we answer it in the way that person is willing to pay for our financial success for spraying a little bit of water. So we're happy to talk to them. When Christine answers the phone, if they just keep talking to her, they will hand over their bank account, they will hand over their credit card, they will hand over their Social Security, things. I don't understand how it's done, but if I can get Christina to answer the phone all the time, this would be awesome. Things would be awesome.
So, with that said, I take it that she can close better jobs and more jobs and everything than you can.
Same script, same prices, same inflections of the speech, and same everything. Yes, she closes way better.
I never 10%,
like double what I can do.
I never forget when you first started doing it. I think I told you, let her answer the phone, and I think you were against it at first, and then you were like, All right, I'll get off the phone.
Maybe that might have happened. I'm not sure. A long time ago, I forgot.
Um, but so what? I've done went through my questions. So if you got anything you want to talk about, or if there's any questions on here, I may. Oh, I know what somebody was asking. Do you have a CRM? And if you do, what is it?
We do. We have. We shopped around for a while, and that was frustrating to shop around and find. We try to invest in things that we can understand. If we can't understand it within 15 minutes, we don't have the time for it. We have Markate, and right now it makes sense to us. Or Markite, is that how you pronounce it?
Marquette, yeah, something like it.
Markate, yeah. But we have that. We're happy with that. It's tracking our information. It has the options that we want right now. Um, we use our Google Calendar because we've linked it to both our phones. So Christina, when she decides that it's date night or it's family day, she can block off a whole day, and I'm not even working that day. And I can put in jobs with their address, their job, their price, their name, their number, and what time I'm supposed to be there. So that's our CRM system right now.
That's good because in that way you're collecting all the emails and all that kind of stuff.
Right, but there's other secret CRMs out there with if you go through the process and you really dive into some of these advertising platforms like LinkedIn or Facebook, what you realize is they're tracking and saving that information for you.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And you got
So
to make sure that's another thing. You're making sure you pixel it. You got your pixel on your website. You got all of that information because that's another way that we can touch them at that point. Or even Messenger, you can go through Messenger and all of that kind of thing. Now, the one thing I always say about that is we're on rented land and it's not ours at the end of the day, and that's where you know that's where you kind of got to be careful a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't do it in that, but I'm just saying, that email address and all of that is very important at the end of the day.
mm-hmm. But you
So,
can find out when you talk to them and whether they didn't buy from you or not. If you got that information, you can plug it into your own CRM, and you can keep contact by sending them Happy Thanksgiving. Hope all is well. That's free. You've already paid the acquisition costs to greet that customer, even if they didn't buy from you. And then you can just keep on working that platform that you've already paid that acquisition cost. So eventually they may not buy from you, but they'll remember you and all the good things you've been talking with them about.
awesome. Awesome. So, if you were brand new, what's one thing you would tell a new person to do?
Signs. Get your signs. You don't need a fancy rig. You can do it with the little 2.7 gallon a minute pressure washer and a pump up sprayer. And if you want to be successful and you want to make the numbers that I'm making, and that ain't much in the end game. There are people making way more than me. And for a while, it's going to seem lonely. You're going to have a lot of people tell you can't do it. Don't listen.
And
Don't listen to them.
it can definitely be done. I just put the comment up there of Al. The job I helped him was a $13,000 job and got it done in 3 days. So it can be done.
Yeah.
I think he said he had 180 gallons of bleach. You know, so you can make a lot of money at the end of the day. Whether you're doing residential, you get into the next level of commercial, and a lot of times, and you're kind of getting into this point of getting into commercial. It seems like, man, that's a huge job. How am I going to get this done? And again, it's like I've always said, how do you get something big done at the end of the day, Jason?
One bite at a time.
It's like
One
it's
time.
it's like eating an elephant, one bite at a time. And guess what? You will get it done, and that is definitely. And somebody said, "Good for you that your wife is on your side and your cheerleader." My wife is so opposite, and we both don't have the same vision. And some of that is you got to be able to prove to her that it can work and you can do it. And it ain't always easy, you know. Sometimes it might take a little bit to get them on your side, but if you keep working, it will eventually come around. Because when they can take that extra vacation or they can do that extra thing, then they're like, "Where's all this money coming from?"
Yeah. Just I don't know, but here you go. Here it is. Where we're going. Just and if when my days, I come home, it's like, here you go. What are we doing? Am I invited? Okay, great. I'm excited. I don't even know what we're doing. Just happy to go. But yeah, it's a big plus to have my spouse, my wife, in my corner, and she does a lot of the work behind the scenes. If anyone receives an email, text, or any type of marketing or communication from me that's well written, well versed, it's not me. That's her. That's her. She has a degree in technical writing. She is great at it. I just wash. That's all I do.
So, I'll put, he is ugly, but he knows everything you need to know about pressure washing. So if you're smart, sign up for the program. You can sign up at pressurewashhelp.com/free and get your 30 days for free, or you can go to pressurewashhelp.com/Black Friday, and that is a lifetime value or lifetime membership into it. You will get a 20-minute Zoom call out of it. You get 2 Zoom calls a month out of it. You get all kinds of different things that come with it.
The
So,
main thing is for the guys, if you're getting this for free, get your money's worth. If you're buying it, get your money's worth. Don't, I mean, I'm sure you don't go to a restaurant, order food, and then and pay and leave. I get, trust me, you can ask, if you ever get a chance to talk to Jason, I get my money's worth out of Voxer. I get my money's worth out of the group. And it's a tool. Use it. It's not going to wash the house for you. It's not going to make your phone ring. But if you don't use the steps and you don't follow it, you wasted your money. Even if you're doing it for free, you've wasted your time. Get in there and use it. That's what it's there for.
and right here, somebody put, "What is the best tip for beginners?" Again, get in the group, and I'm going to tell you the place to start. It's called Google. If you, as long as you already got your business already set up as a LLC or whatever, but Google My Business. That is probably the number one spot you need to start, because you don't want to go out and start getting work doing other things, and you can't get reviews and places to do that, because at the end of the day, you're just leaving money on the table.
Yeah, there's a guy I talked to through the group. He's in Texas. I'm happy to share every secret I know and every technique with him in Texas. Someone wants to come in Sarasota and ask me how to do it. I'm sorry. Maybe ask the guy in Texas. I'm not gonna fork over all my secrets because we're in the same place. But that group, you can find people that will help you, give you all the strategies, all the things that work and don't work from somewhere that you're not their competition, and they'll help you. Everybody in that group is willing to help you.
Yep. So again, you can go check it out. Black Friday. I think I don't remember what I even put the price in, so you'll have to go check it. But so we've been at here for 54 minutes. So your goal for 2021 is what again?
$150,000 profit.
So with that, how much are you going to have to make that?
We're probably going to have to do around 200,000, 225.
And that's by yourself, part-time.
Yes, we're hoping to get another part-time person, and set them up to where they're doing jobs that we don't need a ladder for. They can just go and just knock out a bunch of flat work or something. We haven't figured it out, but we're going to keep going. We're going to make the mistakes. We're going to survive the mistakes, and we're going to just keep going and figure it out.
I know what I was going to hit on a little bit. So you did $15,000. Do you have some like $25,000 rig to make that?
No. The only thing that I purchased new, besides 2 pump-up sprayers and the chemical, was the 8 gallon a minute pump, which I could do this all with a 5, and the trailer, a $600 Lowe's trailer. And that trailer is hurting. It does not like the amount of weight I got on it.
I mean, you got so you probably got what, $5,000 wrapped up into it.
Christina's listening. Let's not talk numbers like that. Okay?
but
But
you, but even saying that, you don't have 15,000 to make $15,000. You didn't have no $25,000 trailer or a $10,000 trailer, did you?
nope. And guess what? Next year, if I need hot water, I'm going to rent it and put it back. I'm not getting a hot water machine. It's just not the direction my business is going to go. I see hot water rigs for sale in my area all the time. Other pressure washers will say, "Hey, do you want to buy my hot water rig? Never been used. Give it to you for $2,000." Well, if you're not using it, what am I going to do with it?
Right. And you're so proud of your equipment so much, you like taking pictures of it and everything, don't you?
No, no. I still, this is a fear. I still deal with it. I don't roll up on my rig with my rig at a customer's house, because I think if they see what it actually is, they're not going to want to pay the price I'm going to put up there. And I'll take pictures like window cleaning. When I review before I leave, if I see my rig in the reflection of the window, I'll go back, change angles, and take a different photo. Because you do not have to have the fancy stuff to do this. You just have to answer your phone, show up, do a good job, and be nice, and repeat over and over and over again.
I agree. I'm not going to disagree. That's probably the best information right there of the whole thing is show up, do what you say you're going to do, answer the phone,
Yeah.
rinse and repeat, and keep it
Yep.
going. All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to be the end of tonight. Again, my Black Friday sale will go till tomorrow, and then I will take it down. You don't have a YouTube channel, do you?
That's on our goals with
So
the
no,
video
you don't
marketing.
have a way to get to him of anything. So um, again, check out pressurewashhelp.com/free. Get your 30 days. Next Sunday will be the Zoom call, so you'll be able to get into that Zoom call, and there will help you out a bunch at the end of the day. So with that said, I hope you all have a great week this week, and you will be able to go out there and kill it. And even if you're in the cold markets like we are, we're supposed to get snow on tonight, tomorrow. 3 to 6 inches originally. I don't know what it is now. I know Jason don't know what snow is. It's just the white sand down there. But this is a good time to start getting your Google My Business set up, making sure everything is ready to go. So when spring hits, you will be able to light it on fire at that point, and you won't be behind the 8 ball. So again, hope you all have a good night, and we'll see you on Thursday.